Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you had an amazing day yesterday. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good morning as well.
Yes, I am looking forward to a nice weekend as well. So, good morning, everyone. Let's get this last day of the trading week started here. So, let's take a look at our highlights from yesterday. What we had a couple of stocks on here that actually did pretty nice yesterday. Let's start over here with PFE was on top of our list. Not the best pre-market activity yesterday, but take a look at this here. How great these levels were, the highs and lows of the pre-market here, being respected pretty nice. So you had a little pop trying to get above this pre-market highs before the market opened. Then a nice drop here. You had a beautiful open range breakdown on the 5 as well towards this level we had, the 38.93. Above that, finds some support here. This incredible squeeze here, guys. If you didn't catch it on time, it would have been tough for a VWAP reversal. But overall, incredible squeeze here on the 5 minute, right back up to the pre-market highs. Cannot get above that. Nice double top there on the 5, and you can see how this thing just slants right back down into that 38.93. Here, you want to be careful, guys. We've seen a lot of traders try to take this as a double bottom. I would not consider this a double bottom. This I'll actually be more inclined to take a short because the buyers obviously lost pretty bad here on the way right back down to that low. So be careful that you want to see a very clean double bottom, double top before you start taking those reversals. As you can see here, they lose the battle and right back down to some more levels that we had here from our highs and lows. So PFE traded very nice at the open and also gave you a good opportunity for an amazing trend trade here into the afternoon hours. Twitter, and I knew Twitter was going to do this yesterday. Not new, you never know. But I had a feeling it was going to be very choppy just because of the amount of volume that it had, the way the pre-market was forming, and it was just that. It just very, very, very choppy here at the open. Again, you probably could have taken a couple of scalps opportunity very fast, but again, you got to be very careful. So here, guys, it finally does settle in after 15, 30 minutes or so. It starts trending very, very nice here, guys. Look how beautiful this trades. And then after that gets pretty toppy around 38.96 level we had here, highs and lows from the previous day. You can see the beautiful drop right back to VWAP. So again, a little tough at the open, but aside from that, it became an amazing trade later on. Here is Neo. Neo also was very choppy, guys. You got an initial drop here, and then every candle just starts overlapping the previous candle. So again, nothing good coming out of here. No good patterns that I was able to catch on Neo here. And then you just get this period of just pure chop. Again, just look at this choppiness here from 11 to about 1 or so, just chopping around until it finally gets into a little trend. But again, there was nothing great about that there. Microsoft was a lot cleaner, guys. A beautiful breakout here above the pre-market highs that we had. We knew this one was going to be very active and trade very well. It has been for the last couple of days. Look at this beautiful pop and beautiful continuation, right? Because you're always going to have these nice, more often than not, this beautiful opening range breakouts on the 5. But the continuation is what makes this so great here, guys. Is if you follow your plan, took this trade, you had a great opportunity here. Gets toppy, right back to the VWAP from there. It cannot get above the VWAP one more time. This becomes a beautiful short trend play here. If he was able to survive some of this just chopping, it's just sideways action. That could be a little bit tough sometimes to just sit around and wait for the move. But if you did and you were patient, you definitely got rewarded on this one towards the bottom. SPCE was okay, was not all that great at the open. It did get better towards later in the day. Nice topping action here at around this level. You can see how clearly it was respecting that, the high of the day at that time. Comes back, retest, cannot get above that. Then from there, right down to the VWAP. And then once it loses the VWAP, it had no chance here, completely dropping towards the low of the day and then some. Look at this drop here, guys, on space. Right back down to 23.80. So we'll see what space is doing today. I see we got some active volume on it already. So we'll see what's going on there. Here's an AMD, guys. AMD has been great to trade at the open. Again, a little bit of a chop here. Unless you're looking for a very short-term play here, you was able to catch some opportunities. But the play here again, getting very toppy towards the 62 area, and it drops down, giving a lot of half of its gain from the previous day. So this was yesterday. If you guys remember, this had an amazing Wednesday. Wednesday just took off, had a beautiful day. It did end the day strong. It gave half of that on yesterday, but we know now that AMD is right back up and actually higher than the previous day here. So AMD is pretty strong this morning. We'll definitely be on our list. It is 1.6 right now on the volume. I want to show you the daily on this one since we will be talking about this one a little bit more. This is what I'm talking about here. So yesterday sold off, almost giving half of the gains from the previous day. And this after hours yesterday, nice big pop. And you can see here we're breaking highs above here. So looking forward to AMD this morning with some good volume on here. Let's take a look at the trade of the member trade of the day yesterday. That goes to Robin. So Robin had her trade of the day on NCLH. Let's take a quick zoom in here. She had a couple of entries here, a couple of ads, which turned out really, really nice, guys. Again, she was looking for the double bottom here, the consolidation happening. She had a great stop loss, great entry, guys, being very patient here, waiting for the setup. And then you can see taking profits on the way up. Another holding VWAP pattern here. She gets in for another ad, move stops to break even. So now she's definitely in the money, in the green. And look how beautiful this thing trades up a little more. And she's completely out. So again, just an amazing trade all around with the initial entry, great risk to reward, and also an amazing ad to add to that amazing trade. So thank you for sharing that. And then today, we will be announcing the winner of the member trade of the week that will get the gift card, and Norm will fill us in a little bit more when we get to the community announcements. Let's go over to the market pulse. Norm, what do we have to end this week? Anything exciting?
No, not a whole lot. I mean, SPY is gapping down here 0.4%. The Qs, which have been leading the market, are down 1.2%, so it's considerably more. All the sectors are down except for really the defensive stuff, healthcare, and staples, utilities, and then energy's up a little bit but flat. XLK technology, that's the reason the QQQ is down as much as it is this morning, and that's primarily on the Intel news that came out last night. They released earnings. We'll get into that in a second when we hit them on the scanners. As far as economic data today, 9:45, we've got flash PMI and the new home sales at 10. So a couple of data points, but not a whole lot.
All right, excellent. Thank you for that. All right, guys, let's get into our gappers list this morning. We have quite a bit in the red today. As we know, the market's slightly down here, 1.2 on the QQQ, and the SPY we are down a little bit less than 0.5%, so not much on there. Regular suspects on here, guys. I'm starting to see a lot of the companies we've been seeing. Again, some of these tickers don't trade all that great. So again, I know we'll get through this list pretty fast because a lot of stuff on here that doesn't trade pretty good. And we have some stuff in the green. Obviously, AMD is very active this morning. We'll look at some of those, couple of low flow stocks here as well. And we got some foreign stocks also. So not a whole lot looking great. We do have a long list, but we'll dissect it pretty easy this morning. Let's remove what we have from yesterday here, guys. Well, Miss is active today too. I just clicked on that one. This one's a possible continuation today on Miss. So I'm missed here.
Just got an analyst upgrade a few minutes ago that came through the wires. Yeah, and it's really popped in the last 10 minutes or so.
Excellent. We'll throw that on here because that traded very nice yesterday. A couple of great trades from the chat room here on this one. So we'll keep an eye on it. This was the low flow of the day yesterday. Looks like it's going to continue today too, especially if they got some news. Let's head on over to what's gapping up this morning, starting with ABUS, ABUS. Right now we have 8.8 million shares traded at the moment. Flow for this one is 49 million. It is more of a kind of a penny stock, guys. Really trading for the most part under this $3, $2, $1 mark. Very light volume. Besides yesterday, we had a huge pop into the close almost, right? 2 hours before the close here, an amazing pop with some good volume. What was the news that broke out on this, Norm? Do we have
So I love these, and I've got two of them on my list this morning. I get to kill two birds with one stone as far as news. So ABUS is in a patent dispute with Moderna, which is on the gapping down list, mRNA, over some vaccine technology, a vaccine technology patent, and ABUS won a decision by a judge yesterday, which is pumping ABUS and killing Moderna.
Okay, perfect. Man, Moderna has been taking some hits lately.
Beating.
Oh my God. So ABUS, and what was the other one, Norm, you said?
mRNA.
mRNA, yeah, okay. Okay, so Moderna's one taking the hit, correct? Yeah, mRNA, man, it's just taking a pounding over the last couple of days. This stock was soaring here, man. Looked like it was going to just continue ripping here with some good news, but PFE and now ABUS here, changing directions of things. So I'm going to add mRNA here. It's very active, down 5.5, good pre-market action right now. I will keep that one on deck as well. AMD is great, guys. Just look how strong this stock is today. 1.8 million shares traded right now. We got some very decent volume on it. Amazing daily. Love how this thing sold off yesterday and today. Now we're just killing it.
Yeah.
Norm, what's the outcome yesterday?
Another one, two birds, one stone. AMD was hitting all-time highs and trading really well. We highlighted it earlier in the week. They sold off, pulled back just a bit, and Intel came out with earnings last night. INTC, which is at the top of the losers list for the morning at 14% down on heavy volume. INTC beat top and bottom line for the quarter, but their guidance was horrible. And they're having problems manufacturing their next generation chip, which is a 7 nanometer chip. They're currently manufacturing a 10 nanometer chip, and AMD's already got their 7 nanometer chip on the market. So, really, INTC is just way behind here. They're going to get killed. I mean, business wise, INTC's been the leader in this field for a long time, and they seem to have just lost control, lost their dominance on it.
Yeah, I beautiful drop here on INTC. This is gonna hurt, obviously hurting them big time this morning. They're down 14%, guys. That's a big drop for this company. So both of them on here as well. AU here is a gold, I believe it's ETF, or if I'm not
No, it's
mistaken.
it's a it's a Canadian AU. Which
Yeah,
one?
AU. It's
Oh,
a
sorry,
Canadian
man.
gold.
No, it's no that's I'm losing it this morning.
It's
Um,
Friday, man. It's okay.
it's a yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a South African gold miner. We've had these silver miners on the screen for so long, and they got similar symbols. Sometimes I get my
Yeah,
wires
yeah.
crossed. But yeah, it's a South African gold miner. It trades like garbage.
Yeah. So we'll skip on this one. TSM, we know it's always been on our list quite a bit. It's a
Terrible.
foreign stock, guys, doesn't trade well, so we'll skip on that one also. All right, let's see what's gapping down this morning. INTC leading the way, great pre-market action. This is definitely on our list this morning. BLDB, again, guys, continues to be on our list, but it's just trades horrible. Again, I don't see anything clean
Yeah.
on here. You see this type of action yesterday. So you did get some movement here, but the volume is so light, and you gotta look at the price action. I actually looked at this one 2 days ago, I believe. Same little chart here, same situation. The price action is just horrible, so I'm no spend no time on that. BBIB also not a great pre-market action, just barely getting over 100,000 here. So we'll skip on this one also. Neo, what's going on with Neo? So Neo taking a bit of a hit here, down 5.8, 3.9 million shares traded. Neo could be a good one. Let's keep an eye on Neo here today. It's got some good volume, 3.9, nice drop, nice daily too, losing some of these levels over at 12. So we'll keep that. TIGR this morning, they are not looking all that great. This is another one too, guys. Look at the action yesterday. I mean, just horrible, right? So let's move on. Here is Plug, another one that also doesn't trade very well. Let's look at it yesterday. Again, initial pop right at the open. I'm sorry, drop and then pop back up above the VWAP. But then after that, just really dies down. Look at the volume, goes from 1.6 million to just almost nothing here, basically. So again, nothing good there. I don't like what I'm seeing here. We'll skip on to the next one. IBIO. This one, it's a little bit of a sleeper type stock. It can put in a good possible opportunity on it. I've seen some really good trades on it. Also, the price action is a little more easier to read. So we'll put it on here. IBIO as a possible this morning. mRNA we have already, as we just discussed. INO. INO's pre-market, I don't know. I'm not sure about it, guys. I mean, we have 255 right now. The daily, it really has been so choppy between 27 and 25. So we're losing some of this area of support here, right? The next one that we have down here is kind of towards the low of the pre-market. So I do like the fact that we're at least getting out of this range. Could create some opportunities. Yesterday we saw some of that towards the end of the day. Nice little drop here, right? Start to getting some kind of movement with some volume here at the bottom. But again, it could be a hit or miss. So for that reason, I'm going to put it down as a possible this morning. Let's head down over to Tesla. What is Tesla doing? Tesla had a nasty day yesterday, giving some back again this morning, down 4.7. They lost lost this 1500 around 1480 or so area of support, slightly below that. So interesting to see what Tesla's going to do in the next coming trading days next week. And today I don't think they'll move much. It's a Friday. We'll see. But interesting to see what the new pattern for Tesla is going to be here. We had obviously a good consolidation here with some pretty wide ranges, breaking all-time highs here very nicely. Let's see what happens in the next couple of days. NKLA is another one on here, also pretty similar to Neo. I'm sorry, INO, right? No, sorry, Neo here, kind of giving some
Neo.
back. Daily looks
Yeah.
almost very, very similar. So I think they're gonna fall into the same boat, guys. NKLA not looking all that great, but we'll keep it on here. We'll see what it was. A lot of these companies starting to give some stuff back here lately. VXRT. Not anything great pre-market, guys. We do got some volume. Pre-market doesn't look all that exciting. The daily looks great because we lost this area of support here at 14. Let's see if it gets any better. I know this could be a sleeper. It can trade very well. It can get a couple of moves on it, but then it can really be choppy if it's not getting the right volume in the right direction. You look at the daily, the intraday chart. In most part, you see a couple of movements, right, and then it just goes flat for a long time. And it tends to do that quite a bit. Then out of nowhere, you get a pop, and this happens a lot. If you go back to every intraday, the last couple of days, you see the same type of action. So could be a hit or miss. I'm gonna keep it off my list right now. If we have more space, or if it gets better pre-market, we'll add it on there. Billy, also a sleeper, guys. This one, the pre-market action could be pretty horrible like it was yesterday. And you can get some possible plays here. Look at this beautiful trend towards the bottom here once it lost the VWAP. So you do get that type of opportunity here and there. I'm a big fan of Billy. One of my first winning trades when I first started was on Billy, and I think Brian was the one that mentioned that. So, but again, right now, guys, not seeing anything great pre-market wise. PDD, another one that's looking not great in the pre-market, guys.
Yeah.
102 only. Doesn't have much. The daily looks interesting though. We are losing this area here of 80, so we're getting out of these ranges. But aside from that, we need a lot more from this one. IQ, we have not looked at IQ in quite some time. Pre-market's not looking great at all, guys, at the moment. Man, IQ has been trading pretty bad
I
too.
went through these Chinese stocks earlier. They're really just not looking very good. That can
Yeah,
change. I mean, I don't like trading them to begin with, but that
right.
could change at the open. I mean, they're all down generally on
Hmm.
the, U.S. China relations and the tit for tat with closing consulates and that stuff and that news breaking overnight. So,
Excellent.
um, I just not seeing a whole lot there.
Yeah, yeah. Again, they're all not looking great, especially IQ. IQ was trading a whole lot better in the past year. Look at this. Look at the difference after this gap up here. It's just all over the place when it comes to price action. Not that this is great here, anyways, between April and June, but a lot better than what you see from June till now. Let's look at space, SPSE at the moment. Just a little bit of some sideways action here on the pre-market. Again, not seeing anything all that great. Space could be very explosive. We've seen a couple of days here where it has taken some pretty good moves, guys. Look at yesterday, had a nice little pop here, got very top and a beautiful drop. So I'm inclined to at least put it as a possible this morning, SPCE. Next is Baba. Baba also down a bit here. Not much happening pre-market wise. Daily, a little bit all over the place. Like Nora mentioned, we're going to have to see how the open is going to be when it comes to these stocks. Here's Nvidia. Nvidia at the moment, not again. Probably is this a sympathy play? Most likely on INTC, or I mean, I'm not sure why they're down this morning. So again, we'll keep it off the list right now, guys, unless we see something. All right, that is what we have. Norm, I know it's not a lot on here that looks great this morning. It is a Friday, so let's keep that in mind. Anything that you like?
I really don't, man. I really
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty light this morning. So let's see here. Let's go over to the room and see what you guys
summer
have.
tip kind of typical Sunday Friday in the middle of a global pandemic
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
and
agree.
a cold war between the two biggest economies in the world.
Yeah, exactly, guys. Marcos is giving us Apple. Let's take a look at that one. Very similar to what Nvidia is doing right now. It almost looks identical pre-market action. So again, between these guys, we're really gonna have to see how the market opens up and who has the volume, who has the best intraday play. For the most part, Apple, Nvidia, I mean, they look very identical right now. I'm not seeing anything too great. Yeah, but TSM, Olsen, this one is it's a foreign stock. So
It's
again, you don't
terrible.
it doesn't trade well. You want to be watching something else. I mean, this thing is pretty bad when it comes to trading. The actual price action itself is horrible. So just be cautious on this one. Let's head down here. INTC, we do have, yeah, INTC and AMD are definitely my top ones this morning so far. They got great volume, great pre-market action, and they have a catalyst behind it. So they got all three going from them this morning. All right, so we have that INTC, AMD, Apple. Let's head on over to the YouTube chat, see what we have going on there. NTC, I think you meant INTC, but let's just check NTC. Yeah, I think you meant INTC. So that we do have. Let's look at Huya. Huya this morning, not doing much, guys. Very light, only 17,000 shares traded. Jose is giving us VZ. This one here, pretty wild. Intraday I'm sorry, pre-market action right now.
The
But this is going
earnings.
back to these companies. The earnings on this one, Norm?
But they just like we talked about. Well, I mean, AT&T reported
Yeah.
yesterday. These huge utilities essentially really just don't trade very well most of the time.
Yeah, they really don't. They'll get the volume, guys. I mean they could trade some pretty good volume, but they just don't move well at all. It's the telecommunications company, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, all fall into that category. So I'll be surprised. Even with earnings, you might not get anything good going here. You need some real serious news to get this stuff moving nicely, at least. ENT. Let's take a look here. ENT starting to take off as a couple of minutes ago here. They're up 200%. Let's check the flow on ENT. uh, ENT at 2.9. So yeah, definitely very active low flow stock here. I'll add it here next to Miss. Miss is also very active at 3.6. Possible continuation from yesterday. We'll throw those on there this morning. Let's take a look at NVAX. NVAX, this one, what do we have? Let's bring it back over here. And NVAX. At the moment, pre-market action is not looking good, guys, and the volume is very light. We've seen so much better pre-market activities out of NVAX. Also, what I'm seeing here, we're kind of stuck within this range over the last couple of days. Not that it's a bad thing, but right now we're at the bottom of it with no volume. So not sure you can expect out of this one today. So we'll have to wait for the open for this one. Also, keep in mind, this is not the best trading stock. The volume is very, very light unless you have some kind of news on it. So be mindful of that. And the spread sometimes could be horrible. So keep that in mind. If you look at some of these gaps in here, guys, you have about 25 cents here. There's barely almost 400 shares there. There's barely 400 shares. Your next drop is going to be 134.70. So be mindful of that as well. A lot of gaps in here with zero shares. AXP. Yes, I agree. ENT Corey does look good for a penny stock. That looks good today. Again, we don't trade that. We don't focus on those low flow stocks. But if you do, that's a good one today with volume. AXP also very light, guys. 41,000 shares traded right now. I don't see anything good here. And this is a stock that,
Generally doesn't trade well.
yeah, trades horrible, guys. It's kind of like these
Noisy.
banking stock, nicey stocks that just don't even move. Actually, the banking stocks move better than this one, to be honest.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah. All right. FE. Let's see what they're up to. Big drop over the last couple of days. I expected this from FE yesterday, this pure chop, because again, we talked about it already got very extended. Nice play here. This would have been Wednesday. Yesterday, I'm sorry, this would have been Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, correct. So again, already 2 days in here, dropped quite a bit. Yesterday was just pure chop, guys. It's kind of going sideways. The range on this is all over the place. It needs to find some kind of footing here or what it's going to do next. I don't expect anything great out of it today, neither. I think it's just going to be pure chop
I
for
think
the most part.
on FE, I think we're going to get some more good trades out of it. But if you recall, I mean, completely different situation, but a utility company that just got devastated by news was PCG that we traded
Yeah.
for a long time. And you would find it would have these massive drops for a couple of days. And you just then kind of you gotta give it time to settle out a little bit
Hmm.
and not force trade it when it's not really in play. My guess is it'll be in play again and move well again one way or the other. I'm not predicting which, but
Hmm.
you just, it had some great trades this week. It's
Yeah.
just not part of the deal for a little bit.
Yeah, and look at it yesterday. I'm just look at the way it opened up yesterday. Really choppy all over the place. Got a little better towards the end of the day, but I expect that same type of action today, especially on a Friday. As more news comes out on this situation that they're having, we're going to see some more opportunities here for sure. And as you mentioned, Norm, we won't know yet if it's going to be short or long. So we'll be on the lookout for that. That's going to be on our radar for a bit. All right, guys, that is what we have. Let's take a look at one more. Microsoft. Microsoft, again, very similar to Nvidia, very similar to Apple. They're all falling in the same situation. They're pre-market. If you pull them next to each other, they look exactly alike. There's no difference between these three right now. I'm sure there's some other tech companies with the same situation. We'll have to see how the market is going to open, how these tech companies are going to react this morning. So we'll take a look at that. All right, folks, let's go over to our community announcements. We'll come back and do some support and resistance.
Yeah, guys. So this week we had Mike B talking about journaling in the success webinar that should be up already. Next week is Jared discussing getting into options. Really looking forward to that. Jared is kind of taking the lead on options. It's what we brought him on board for in the community. So amongst other things, of course, but so looking forward to seeing his success webinar next Wednesday at 8 p.m. on that. The next Tuesday, Module 2 of Mike's Psychology series will be at 8 p.m. in the webinar room, talking about the psychology of trading and how your mind reacts to trading. Member trade of the day, Carlos discussed it earlier, so we don't have it today, so no posting of trades will be awarded, and you won't get $200 for crossing go, but you're welcome to post them. The trade of the week will be picked today, and the winner will be announced this afternoon. We're working on it now. Team's voting on it, so we will have that out and win the $100 Amazon gift card. If you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you'd like to give it a try, use the promo code premarket24. That'll give you discount to the chat room for a week. Doesn't auto renew or turn into any other kind of membership. That's 7 calendar days, 5 trading days. Includes access to Carlos's onboarding class that he does every Monday night at 8 p.m. We always say it's awesome to do that on the weekend, over the weekend, because that way you can kind of get a feel for the website and everything. Monday, you can come into the chat room, spend some time throughout the day, see how things are, and then you can go to that onboarding class and really get an orientation, really, and then sail for the next 4 days, test it out, see if it's a good fit for you. If it is a good fit for you and you'd like to become a lifetime member or upgrade your membership, use the promo code Rockies40 to do so. We anticipate this will be the last time that we put a discount this big on the lifetime membership. If you are a fan of podcasts, search Talk with Traders on your favorite platform and you'll find the Bear Bull Traders podcast. And the market closing show was only Monday through Thursday, so they will not be on today, but join them next week, 3:30 to 4:15, live streamed on YouTube.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, guys, let's get into this list here. We don't have a whole lot, but I think we have two pretty good ones already that we have on here. So let's move this list up right now. Let's get to it. ABUS, guys, definitely going to have this one on here. Very active right now. 9.9 million shares traded. It is a lower price stock, but it does have some news on it. And I think we're going to get some pretty good movement. Started moving yesterday into the close here and then pre-market as well. After hours, you did some movement on it as well. So let's keep this one for sure. mRNA, not doing a whole lot right now, but again, I expect some movement out of this morning. Had a couple of days. We had some pretty good trading in here on mRNA. So let's see if that continues today. Look at it yesterday too. Yesterday was not on our radar. Pre-market was really light, just like worse than what it looks like today. And it had an amazing trade here, guys. So hopefully anyone that took advantage of that was able to capitalize on it. Let's look at AMD is good. We'll keep that one too. INTC, definitely great right now. Getting very extended, guys. So be careful here if you're trading pre-market and going short here. Make sure you can survive these pullbacks if you are going to do that, or wait for a pullback. Just just make sure you have a strategy if you're getting in there at the moment. Neo looks good pre-market wise. I love the daily on it. If we could lose some of the support that we have here, that would be great. As far as possibles, we have IBIO, INO, Tesla. NKLAs, that's okay. SPCE, yeah, I think these will stay as a possible. I was looking to see if we can move anything up, but they're going to stay right there. All right, ABUS this morning, high of the pre-market right now, sitting at 887 towards the bottom of that. We do have your pre-market low price action right now, though. In the pre-market, you do have a couple of areas here that are interesting for possible levels. You have this one here at 798. Look at the beautiful rejection here. Comes right back up to that 798. Once it breaks out of that, if you're short here, you got to bail and look at this beautiful squeeze over to the next level at 887. A nice double top here, great rejection. Guess what? Back to that level of 798. So you want to have that on there. Also below here, below the price action now, before we get to the low of the pre-market, we have another great level here at 699. Look at the support you're having here. Similar situation after hours. You can see some action there as well on that level, but similar situation, kind of holding on to this level nicely here over the last couple of hours so in the pre-market. So definitely want to keep an eye on that. As far as the daily now, you do have some plenty of levels, highs and lows got you covered. Going back here to the left, do we have anything in most recent times? Nothing in most recent time close to the price action. We're going really back now. So again, just want to get something towards the top, guys. If we can get going here, back to that 887. Look how that 887 is acting on this daily. Beautiful area of support here, almost for the entire month of August back in 2018. If we can get above that, great level here at 936. So nice support, resistance on there. And then above that, we do have a 995, the top of this range where you're kind of bouncing back and forth, banging your head here. All right, let's go over to mRNA. This one, guys, again, just taking a bit of a hit, as we mentioned earlier, with other companies, pharmaceutical companies coming out with some information that's kind of hurting them a bit here. They were kind of taking control of the situation here. Had a beautiful pop up to 96. If you guys remember that, 90, 94, 80. And then just the news broke out in the following day that this pre-market actually was pretty high. I think it was 98. It opened up, sold off the entire pre-market, opened up, continued to sell off. And from there, they have not really recovered. So the low of the pre-market, 70.57 towards the bottom. We do have a beautiful area of resistance. Look how great this resistance is here, guys. This was when it started getting pretty nice here. Look at the resistance, more resistance right here at 67.09. So that's a great level. It's been tested several times. You want to have that on your list. And then if we lose that, because anything is possible with this stock, the way it moves, you do have another area right around 63, a little bit lower, right around 62.77. The reason why I like this level here, guys, look at every time we hit that resistance at 67.09, you've been bouncing back and forth between 62 and 77. So you want to have that on there as a good area of support as well if we can get through the low of the pre-market this morning. AMD, we have a great question from Nuno Feliciano, one of the members in YouTube that been watching us quite a bit here. He's definitely on every day, so appreciate that. Appreciate the support. His question was, what do we want to consider as the best level? The high of yesterday's after hours, or the high of the pre-market now, which is sitting at 64.39. So that's a great question. I think they're both actually really important, guys. I mean, you do want to have this level on here. And if you look at the high of the pre-market now, and you look at the post hours last night, obviously a lot less volume, you could see that it was being respected. Look at the resistance happening here. Again, a lot less volume, so you're not going to get that great movement. But this was being respected. So you can have both of these levels. There's no reason why you cannot respect both of them. The pre-market right now getting a nice rejection here at 64.32. Let's see if that's going to continue. But I would put both of these on here. I think both of these are going to be very important for AMD this morning. Looking back on the daily, let's see when was the last time it was up here. Are we all-time high with AMD? All right, if we are, then that pre-market, that post after hours post-market high is very, very important. Actually, more important than what we thought. Yes, it is. It's actually extremely important because now that is your all-time high. So your all-time high is always going to be very important. Your all-time low is always going to be very important. Does not mean that it's going to come up there and reject, but what happens around these levels, guys, whether it breaks through it or it finds a rejection or support if you're heading down, is that you're going to get activity. You're going to get an increase in volume, and one way or the other, you're going to create some opportunity. So that's why the all-time high is very important. The all-time low is very important. Pre-market highs and lows are very important. We saw that yesterday. I forgot the ticker that we saw that respected that lovely yesterday. So those things are important. I believe it might have been Twitter, but I don't remember. But either way, you're going to have those levels where you're going to have volume increase. People are making decisions where they're going to get in or get out, creates that extra volume. If the buyers lose, it drops. If the sellers win, I'm sorry, if the buyer loses, yeah, they drop. The sellers win, it goes up, right? So either way, you're going to have a change in direction with some volume, and that's what's important. So it's never going to be exactly, oh, it's going to get to this level, it's going to reverse or it's going to hold. You never know what's going to happen in that situation, but there is going to be an increase in volume, which is going to make it as important. So let's look at mRNA. We have a lot of levels on mRNA here. Actually, we looked at mRNA. AMD is good, guys. Towards the bottom, we forgot towards the bottom on AMD. The highs and lows of the last two trading days got you covered. Again, you don't have any more daily activity between this gap here. So you can look into your pre-market action this morning. You do have a nice level here, actually at 63.82 as well. If you look into the after hours, you also have some resistance and support of that level. And then towards the bottom here, the 63.25, also a great area as well. Good support this morning, pre-market on AMD there. So AMD is pretty strong today, guys. Looking forward to see how that is going to trade this morning. All right, INTC. This thing is down 13% this morning. High of the pre-market sitting at 54.42. Towards the bottom, the low of the pre-market sitting at 51.51. So again, this thing, some pretty good volume, 7 million shares traded right now. Let's go over here towards the left and see what levels we have. Look at this range we had a couple of months ago here. We had at the top and bottom very close to 54.42 and it's 51.51. Now I know this thing is very weak, guys, but be careful. This stock is still a stock that's a name that's well known, so don't be surprised if this thing starts squeezing up here. It is down quite a bit, guys. 14% on this stock is a lot. So I'm always mindful that stocks don't run forever in one direction, so be mindful of that here. We have 51.51 here. If this thing breaks, we can definitely have a nice play towards the short side, level of 50.07, and we have some pretty far levels down here. I don't think we'll get to that level. 45.97, another one here, 43.65. In between here, you have a lot of chop, guys. Again, this was back when the market was really dropping and taking a bit of a hit. So obviously the technicals are a little messed up here in this area. There's no great daily in between here. So just be mindful of that. The good levels you have is the low of the pre-market now at 51.51 and this 40 and this 50.07 as well. Now towards the top, you have an amazing level here tested several times, 57.06, guys. Look how great that support has been. You could draw the range here between the previous day.
So are you telling me I shouldn't have just taken the short I did at 52.12?
No, that's a great short, man. That is an amazing short. I would take it, but I'm on the mic. That's an amazing short.
Fair enough.
No, yeah, that's a great short, man. Going back down here to the low of the pre-market. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Here it is, Neo, guys. So at the moment, again, all these companies, Neo, NKLA, forget the other ones, but again, they're all very similar right now. Neo has a great volume, great pre-market actions, trying to head back towards that low of the pre-market at 1110. That's what we have here, 1109 to be exact. So if you look at the daily, you can see how great that support has been there. So we're getting to a very important level of support here for Neo. The few times that it has dipped below that in the most recent times, it has been able to recover. So we'll see what it does now. So 1057 is going to be the next level of support. And then here you have the gap. You have the drop of the bottom of this gap here at 944. All right, that's our main watch list. Let's take a look at what we have as far as our secondary.
Well, that didn't end well for me, Carlos. So I guess you were right.
No, I wasn't right. The market was right. I just had the right analysis.
There you go.
So here it is, IBIO, guys. At the moment, so guys. Pre-market's really all over the place. So we'll leave it at that. I'm not a fan of it. INO also not looking all that great. I like the daily. Let's see if the pre-market can get better towards that 9:30 time frame. Tesla's coming back here a little bit. NKLA is so, and Space could be the sleeper today. And talking about sleepers, let's look at Roku. What is Roku doing today? Not much, but I'd love the daily on Roku. Now, actually, Roku's looking rather weak over the last couple of days, closing lower and lower, now heading towards the bottom of this support area. Not saying that's going to be a short play, but interesting what we have seen over the last 3 days here. So we got a level here at 141.88 towards the top. Highs and lows from the last two trading days got you covered. I'm going to add Roku on my list. I'm going to put this one on here. today. Looking forward to see what that's going to do. I know the volume is light, but we know, guys, Roku can really be explosive here. All right, that is what we have. Take a look at the SPY real quick. What's going on here? So still just kind of holding on to its 321 level. Again, market has been over the last few months, pretty strong here, guys. Amazing comeback. We'll see what we are going to get today. I don't expect a whole lot today. It is Friday, but as we know, anything is possible. Let's take a look at what our moderators are watching today. Start with Thor. He has AMD versus INTC, so I guess he's watching both. Or AMD versus INTC. I'm not sure if he's putting them against each other, what he's doing there, but he has both of them on his list. Tesla possible there, and also Apple. Apple is a good seller for looking for a bounce today. Okay, very good. Eamon is watching AMD, INTC, ABUS misses the low flow from yesterday. What is it doing now? A possible continuation, guys. Plus, they have a catalyst behind it, so that could create some good action here. And he is watching TSM. Now, TSM is a foreign stock, so be careful with that one. Price action could be a little bit funky. Tiffany has AMD, INTC, and ABUS. Again, those three guys are really top of the list this morning. You could have those three and have a pretty good day if we get some good trades out of those. Peter is obviously watching AMD, INTC, mRNA, and ABUS as well. His secondary list has Microsoft and Space, SPCE. And Norm, what did you come up with your list so far?
I'm still looking, man. ABUS, AMD, Nikola possibly, INO, mRNA, and INTC.
All right.
I'll type it up there when I finalize it.
Yeah, perfect. All right, guys, that is what we have. Again, I'm looking forward to INTC here and AMD. Norm, you might want to get in short now. I'm not sure, but you might be right here. I think it's looking rather weak. We'll see. Guys, take care. Have a great weekend. Have a great trading day. Remember, it is Friday, so you want to be patient today. Also, on days like today, where you don't have a whole lot of options, right? Compared to the couple of days where our list has been incredible, and you really could come out of that list. You could make out like 3-4 main watch lists and have an amazing trading day. So today you don't have that many options out here. A lot of stuff is not looking great. So that requires you as a trader to be a lot more patient and wait for setups. If you go in there trying to force your will on the market, you will get slapped, and it will show you that you are not the boss, right? So be careful with that. Be patient this morning, trade well, and we'll see you guys 8:30 on Monday morning. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.